Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I'm on the whole day long.
St. Louis Television's First Lady. That's the title we decided was appropriate. We thought of several others Charlotte Peters remembered among them. Nothing seemed to tell the story better than First Lady of St. Louis Television, because that's what Charlotte Peters was for 23 years. That span began on KSD-TV Channel 5 and moved in later years to KTVI Channel 2. It really wouldn't have mattered what station, because her audience would have found her anywhere. Charlotte was just what was needed, a midday break with someone who genuinely loved her city and her audience, and she'd go to any length to entertain and inform. She was the clown princess and sensitive interviewer in one package. She interviewed some very impressive people in the 50s and 60s, writers, actors, politicians, anyone who had something to say, and that included firemen, clergy, and housewives. And Charlotte was always out meeting her fans and promoting local businesses, helping raise money for hundreds of local charitable events. Compared to the average run of today's TV shows, think of what she accomplished. Charlotte and her crew produced 23 years of live local programming, an hour every day, 5 days a week, weekend, winter, and summer. A lot of work, but a real labor of love.
Ain't that a shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come? Bailey, won't you please come? Bailey, won't you please come?
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping. You can tell I didn't make my livelihood singing, can't you? I'm Cliff St. James, and they asked me to make a little bit of an introduction to the vignettes we're going to show you today. And I suppose in deference to the Arch, which is as much a symbol of St. Louis as Charlotte Peters was a symbol of St. Louis in the early days of television, well, that's the way it is. We had a lot of fun in those early days, and there was one time when everyone was learning a little bit. The technicians, the audio, the sound men, the grips, everybody was kind of in a package together. We just had a lot of fun and made it work. Everything was live in those days. Even the sound of choppers going overhead. We're right on a flyway here at the Arch grounds. One thing that Charlotte did through the years was keep a freshness and an appeal in all of the programs that she ever produced. And I suppose, if more than anything else, it was her love of not only the city of St. Louis, but all the people who are in it. I think you're going to enjoy the vignettes we've got to show you. So we'll just say, roll it, roll it.
Grab your lunch and don't you hesitate. We're here to entertain you, so don't be late. Why? That's right.
And if the show didn't go right, we paid the audience off.
Thousands of personal appearances, and in one particular one, a talent show at the new Crestwood Shopping Mall, Charlotte said,
"After all, that's how I got started. Amateur contest. I'll never forget it. It was only a 15-minute program, and I was prettier than the rest. The other two men were men, and one, he sang high-class opera, and he got so nervous that his throat closed up. And the other guy was about 60 years old, and he played a sliding flute, you know, with coal gloves on. And I got it. And that's how I got my start, was in an amateur contest. I wrote some words to a song that Al Hurt made popular, and it was called Java. And I'm going to sing it because it only runs a minute and a half. We'll continue with the fashion show. So, Stanley, if you please. Here's a happy little tune that made you tap your feet. Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. Oh, with a melody that's kind of hard to beat. Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. If you can't get going in your rocking chair, get on your feet. You'll find the rhythm there. Whatever you do, it's up to you. Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. Just punch your toe and shake it with a grin. Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. Now swing your hips, there's no one looking in. Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. When you hear a ringing on the telephone, it's the neighbors asking what is going on. They will understand it if you say Java-too, Java-too, Java-too. Well, it's got the sweetness of honey and some of the low-down blues. The bridge is staccato, as easy as lotto. Get ready, now here's your cue. Take a little step right and shimmy with a flair. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2. Now you're Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2. When you're in the dumps and want to shake the blues, put on your pumps, you got nothing to lose. This happy song made for you. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2. Well, it's got the sweetness of honey and some of the low-down blues. The bridge is staccato, as easy as lotto. Get ready, now here's your cue. Take a little step right and shimmy with the flair. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2. Now you're Ginger Rogers and Fred Astaire. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2. When you're in the dumps or want to shake the blues, put on your pumps, you've got nothing to lose. This happy song was made for you. Java 2, Java 2, Java 2, Java 2.
It's the Charlotte Peters Show with yours truly, Fred Bernard, Dick Balsano at the organ. And now, here's Char.
In fairyland, I'm known as Fairy Flo. And where I've flown, no one will ever know. I've come to sing a song for you to hear. Fairy dust. That's right. All of you. And maybe it's so sad you'll shed a tear. Nobody wants a fairy after 40. Nobody wants a fairy when she's old. She still may have her magic power, but that is not enough. They want their bit of magic from a younger piece of fluff. And when her fairy days have started wending and her tinsel turns to rust instead of gold, her fairy days are ending. When her wand has started bending, nobody wants a fairy when she's old. And when her fairy days have started wending and her tinsel turns to rust instead of gold, her fairy days are ending. When her wand has started bending, nobody wants a fairy when she's old, stone cold. Nobody wants a fairy when she's old.
Oh, she loved it. On her birthday, Charlotte's many TV friends met her family during a local This Is Your Life. Her sister Vivian was a frequent guest on Charlotte's show. Frank Eschen was the host in the Ralph Edwards role. Frank was a popular radio newsman and became St. Louis TV's first news anchor. Charlotte's two children, Pat and Mike, were there for the surprise with Pat's husband, Herb Schwartz, carrying their first grandchild. And here he comes, little Joe Schwartz. And was she ever on cloud nine that day? Charlotte's husband, William Peters, or Willie, as Charlotte called him, was her advisor, confidant, best friend. They were married 39 years. Willie was the silent strength behind Charlotte. And Monsignor O'Toole, from Mary Queen of Peace in Webster Groves, was a great friend of Charlotte's. John Rodell was the original host of To the Ladies and had a long career as a newsman on KSD Radio and news anchor and special events MC on KSD TV and later KSD KTV. There's George Abel, announcer, straight man, and dry gulch to the kids. Jerry Berger presents Charlotte with her first Oscar.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Missouri-Illinois theater owners, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to announce the recipient of the Oscar from Eddie Clark, President, and Charles Goldman, Treasurer, for her most outstanding contributions to the promotion of the motion picture industry, Miss Charlotte Peters of KSD TV.
I've done so many takeoffs of movie stars, Oscar winners, and TV star Oscar winners that this is really a takeoff of a takeoff, if you know what I mean, Jerry.
Hallelujah, 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 trail. Don't know where we're going or where we've been. Hallelujah, trail. It's written in the dust and blown by the wind. Hallelujah, trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. You can't tell a horse from a stubborn mule. Hallelujah, trail. You can't tell a hero from a doggone fool. Hallelujah, trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. Love that woman and she loved you. Hallelujah, trail. Just do unto her what she wants you to. Hallelujah, trail. There's no such thing as a perfect man. Hallelujah, trail. Your girl's gotta do the best you can. Hallelujah, trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. Oh, hallelujah, hey, hallelujah, 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 trail. The girl's so sweet as sugar candy. Hallelujah, trail. Look out, boys, their lips are dandy. Hallelujah, trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. Early in the morning, almost day. Hallelujah, trail. Rise and shine, we're on our way. Hallelujah, trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. Hallelujah, 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 trail. Ha, ha, wait until I try my... Wait till I try... You want to see an audience move? What's this? Ha! Listen, I'm going to put a cigarette in your mouth. And
You are about to meet one of the greatest stars of staged screens and television, the one and only Mr. Alfred Hitchcock. Do you know, in 22 years I've been in television in St. Louis, locally. 5 days a week, an hour every day. I've never flew from St. Louis to Chicago to interview, just for an interview, and then to fly back. But you are one of the greatest men in show business I've ever met.
Wonderful.
Forgive me, I'm a gusher, but I'm a sincere gusher.
Good.
I must tell you, before we get into talking about Topaz.
When you say you're a gusher, has that something to do with oil?
It could be. I go just about as deep as the oil.
Then all I can say to you is, oil's well that ends well.
If I ever make a picture, you've got to, you end up the picture just like this. But first, let's talk about Topaz. Now, this is your 51st motion picture.
That is right.
You are in practically every picture that you make.
Yes.
Some little part.
little tiny parts.
When did that start?
About 1926.
Well, what gave you the idea?
Well, we ran short of actors, and I was very hesitant to do it because of the indignity of having to be an actor anyway.
Well, it looks like we're running short of actors today. Now, I understand that you've only got one of the big-name stars, Mr. John Forsythe, in it, and the rest of them are stars that we haven't heard too much.
No, that's true, because you see, they're all in foreign countries. You see, the opening of the picture is in Copenhagen, Denmark, where a Russian defector and his wife and daughter are picked up by the Americans and brought to America. That's the opening scene of the picture. Well, you couldn't have familiar faces in a scene like that. They had to be unknowns.
Well, it's a brand new concept. Yeah, they always did for all of these years, but I will go.
Yeah, but then why do you go to the trouble of getting authentic scenery, authentic backgrounds, and spoil it all by putting a familiar face in it?
Beautiful thinking. Now, this story is about the espionage.
During the missile crisis.
During the missile crisis down in Cuba.
That's right.
Did they ever let you get down to Cuba at all?
No, but I sent my own spy down there.
Oh, you could.
Yes, I did. I sent an English photographer. I had sent an American, but he got cold feet. He got as far as Mexico City and couldn't get an exit permit. So I got a British photographer to go in who works out of New York. And he got me all the authentic details I needed from Cuba.
The pictures of Cuba, so that you could make a duplication of them someplace in America?
That's right, the nearest place, you know. And also we have in the film a Castro rally. And in this rally where Castro speaks, you can see our own characters from the movie on the same platform as Castro. And in the crowd, our leading man in the story.
Oh, this is beautiful. How close did you stick with the missile crisis that happened in '62?
We stuck to all the stuff in the book, you know, which was the story of the Frenchman who helped the Americans and went into Cuba where he had a mistress. The mistress gets killed eventually. She's a member of the underground.
Yes.
Cuban woman.
Did you get any shots of the Soviet embassy?
Yes, sir. We drove by the Soviet embassy several times. It was a house about 50 feet back from the road and had sort of a chain link fence gate. And we were going to have our people just walk out of the gates, you see. And the Danish police said, we'd rather you not, because we've had a lot of trouble since Czechoslovakia. So we got the local firm to make us a pair of gates to match those of the Soviet embassy. And they had made the ones for the Soviet embassy. So we just said, give us a copy of the same gates. And we took those back to Hollywood, and on the back lot we constructed, with foliage and everything, exactly the same embassy. And you cannot tell the difference. In fact, there's one touch that we have in the opening of the film. Beside the front door of the Soviet embassy is a small window, and sticking out of the window is a large rear-view mirror. There's a face in it all the time.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I'll bet you that people will say, well, that's a bit far-fetched, that's stuck in, you know, by Hitchcock, you know. But it's absolutely true. In fact, what I did was to have some photographs taken of the set, and I sent them to the chief of the Danish police. I said, when the film comes to Copenhagen, you may get complaints from the Russian embassy, and these photographs will enable you to show them that it wasn't taken anywhere near their embassy.
If you ever get a chance to please come down to St. Louis, I promise you, I'll turn this city out for you. Not only that, every one of your movies, and please, write some more television scripts, will you?
I'll tell you what, we'll meet at a certain spot in St. Louis, and I'll give you an arch look.
Mr. Alfred Hitchcock.
Charlotte Peters' pride and joy were her kids, Patricia and Michael, Pat and Mike. Mike used to stop by my office very often on the mezzanine floor of the old Post-Dispatch building here in St. Louis. And he'd stop by and say, Uncle Cliff, can I use a drawing board for a while? Because I always had a drawing board, and I was doing cartoons for the weather or something else. And he'd stop by and he'd do the cartooning himself. Well, Mike Peters grew up to be one of the finest cartoonists in the country. a Pulitzer Prize for political cartooning a few years ago. And you may recall that if you read the funny papers at all, Mother Goose and Grimm is one of his products. Thought you'd like to meet Mike right now.
Two of my favorite stories about my mom are, one, this one weekend, she and my dad and I were going to go up to Chicago. And she was so looking forward to go up there by train. And we were going to take a bubble top. And she's been talking about this bubble top that she saw about a month ago. And she really wanted to take it. And so it was a Friday, and she called up the Missouri Pacific people and said, this is Charlotte Peters, and I'm going up to Chicago, and are you going to have the bubble top on? And they said, no, Miss Peters, I'm afraid not. And, that usually, we only put that on Thursdays. And so she said, oh, that's a shame, I was really looking forward to it. So we get down to the Union Station, and sure enough, there was a bubble top on the train. Oh, and she said, oh, they made a mistake. Oh, this is great, She said, Will, let's get up in the bubble and get on in the front seat so we can get there before anybody else. So we ran up there and got on the top seat of the bubble, and we're sitting there. Train takes off, and oh, God, it's wonderful. And we're looking at Springfield and waving at people. And finally, the waiter came for drinks, and we had these little sandwiches that we had packed. And Mom said, I'm so excited that you guys have the bubble top on today. And he says, yeah, they had to put it on because some bigwig is coming. And so she kept looking around, waiting all the rest of the trip for that bigwig to get on the train. That was her, and she never knew it. My second favorite story is this one time she was going to have all of us kids, Pat and me, and then all of Uncle Harry's, that's her brother-in-law, my father's brother, all of his kids go to Forest Park Highlands, which was like the Disney World of St. Louis during the 50s. Except though it was different from Disney World because you didn't pay money to get in, you paid money for every ride, so it cost you a little bit. The more rides you went on, the more expensive it was. So she called up the people who ran Forest Park Highlands, and she said, this is Charlotte Peters from KSD, and I'm coming there tonight, and I'm bringing all these orphan kids. And she said, I wanted to find out if you could possibly give me some free tickets so I could pay for these orphan kids to come. Well, they said, oh, sure, Miss Peters, that's wonderful, and we'll be happy to. And then she had all of us kids dress up in old clothes. I wore my dad's pants so they didn't fit me. I had, she put rips in our shirt. It was awful. I mean, it was unbridled awful, And so she had all of us kids, and she swore to us. She said, now, don't ever call me Mom or Aunt Charlotte. Always call me Mrs. Peters. So she got a roll of tickets like this, and when we got there, she gave it to us, and we all said, thank you, Mrs. Peters, and then we all took off, and we didn't see her all night long, and finally got back around 11 o'clock. So thank you, Mom, and thank you, Mrs. Peters.
It's the Charlotte Peters Show with yours truly, Fred Bernard, Dick Balsano with the organ, and now, here's Sean.
More. Not too much. Up and away in my beautiful balloon. Would you like to ride in my beautiful balloon? Would you like to glide in my beautiful balloon? We could float among the stars together, you and I, and we could fly around the world. I've searched for you. I traveled on when hope was gone to reach a rendezvous. I knew somewhere, sometime, somehow, you'd look at me and I would see the smile you're smiling now. It might have been in County Down, or in New York, or Gay Paris, or even London town. No more will I go all around the world, for I have found my world in you. or in New York, or Gay Paris, or even London town. No more will I go all around the world. Help! For I have found my world in you. Oh, stop it! You do that, you're going to scare the daylight out of... I told him, I said, give me a big balloon. This is what they gave me. See, I wanted you to see what network would do. I didn't know it's all going to come down around me, but... Oh, my darlings. Tiny bubbles in the wine makes me happy, makes me feel fine. Tiny bubbles makes me warm all over with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. So here's to the golden moon, here's to the silver sea, and mostly here's a toast to you and me. Tiny bubble, in the wine, makes me happy, makes me feel fine. Tiny bubble, makes me warm all over with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. Ooh, a leaky in the wine, week away the owl makes me happy. Owl, how only makes me feel fine. Ika what they do. Tiny bubble, makes me warm all over with the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time. With the feeling that I'm gonna love you till the end of time.
Aloha. Take me out to the ball game. Spring training with the Cardinals down in Florida. And how she loved to go down there in the springtime. Of course, we all would. With Stan Musial. There's Sonny Randall, formerly the football Cardinals. Everybody knows Mike Shannon. Hasn't changed a bit, has he? And Tim McCarver. There's Lou. Lou Brack. Orlando Cepeda. And in the background, you can pick up other people like Roger Maris and Bob Bragg, Harry Carey. It was a great year for the Cardinals. And when the circus came to town, you better believe Charlotte was there.
Circus is in town. Yes, the Ringling Brothers Circus. Barnum and Bailey. I would like for you to meet the performance director. This is the headache department, he says, of Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Mr. Dover, God bless you. And this is something. This circus goes back to
1884. They started in Baraboo, Wisconsin. Ringling Brothers was a separate show then, and then they combined with Barnum and Bailey in 1919.
Just imagine this. These are the greatest acts. They play all over the world. And St. Louis is very privileged to have Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Come on over here. I want you to meet Mr. Hugo Schmidt, and he is the head elephant trainer here. God bless you, and thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
Tell me about...
Targa, come here. You want to go
What's
to a
your
nice
name?
looking girl?
What's your
Targa
name?
down. Targa.
Targa. And is this her way of being friendly, dear?
Yeah. Come here, talking with me, the girl.
And how can you tell when it's a male or a female? That's all.
Yeah.
Come around over here, because I don't want an
Gotta go.
elephant to upstage you.
Oh.
How can you tell when it's a female and when it's a male?
She looks so many times in the mirror.
Oh, she looks in the
Yeah,
mirror?
mirror,
Why, you
yeah.
miserable
Yeah.
thing. Now, let me ask you something. In training elephants, how many elephants do you work with?
18 now.
18.
Yes.
Do you get these elephants from all parts of the world?
No, they come all from India.
Are they all of them from India?
India, yeah.
Tell me about the habits of an elephant. I mean, number one, has she ever had babies?
No, she's no girl.
She's an
only
old girl?
12, she's only 12 years
Oh,
old.
she's only 12 years old.
Yes.
Well, how old do they have to be before they have a baby?
Oh, it's 18, 19, 20 years.
Is
Yes.
that so?
Yeah.
Well, did any of your female elephants have babies during your time when you were traveling with them?
For years in Europe. I
In
got them in
Europe?
Germany. I got lots of babies raised in Germany by the circus. Over here, I got no male.
Oh, you don't carry a male along. Why, are they temperamental?
Sometimes, yeah.
Is that so? And all the 18 females, is that
18,
right?
yeah.
Well, baby, you got something to look forward to when you come to St. Louis.
Now, you want to sit down?
Yeah, what is it like when you get up on top of an
Oh,
elephant?
you see right away. Targa down.
What do you mean, Targa down?
Down.
You mean you're going to get me up there?
Sure.
You must be out of your mind.
No.
You got no...
Targa down. So, step on
All
with
right.
your left leg.
What do I do?
Step on with your left leg
Well,
and
what if she
jump up.
doesn't like me, darling?
All right, up. That's a girl. Up.
Watch
So,
it.
stick.
Watch it.
So, hang
right.
on. Targa, go on.
What is she?
Targa.
Look at her, and if she comes out with one trumpet, I'm dead. I'm just dead. Well, it's the first time I've ever been up on an elephant, all right? Now take me right up to them, will you? Targa. Sabu. Aye. How do I let her know I want to go over this way? Look at this. Oh, come to the Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. Who knows? My first time on Targa. Oh, that's a fine girl. I think I'm going to India. Who knows? Watch out. See you. See you at the circus. Okay?
Who are you expecting? Yaya Gabor? Oh, dear God. Dear God, you made many, many poor people. I realize, of course, that it's no shame to be poor, but it's no great honor either. So what would have been so terrible if I had had a little tiny, little bitty, teeny, small fortune? If I were a rich girl, a yappa-tappa-tappa, yappa-tappa, yappa-tappa-dee. All day long, I'd biddy-biddy-boom. If I were a wealthy girl, I wouldn't have to work hard. A yappa-tappa-tappa, yappa-tappa, yappa-tappa-dee. If I were a biddy-biddy rich, yidle-diddle-diddle-diddle girl, I'd build a big tall house with rooms by the dozen right in the middle of the town. A fine tin roof with real wooden floors below. There'd be one long staircase just going up and one even longer going down, and one more leading nowhere just for show. I'd fill my yard with chicks and turkeys and geese and ducks for the town to see and hear, squawking just as noisily as they can. And each long will land like a trumpet in the ear, as if to say, here lives a wealthy girl. If I were a rich girl, all day long I'd biddy-biddy-boom. If I were a wealthy girl, I wouldn't have to work hard. Lord who made the lion and the lamb, you decreed I should be what I am. Would it spoil some vast eternal plan if I were a wealthy girl? Yappa-dabba-doo!
Celebrities, well, Charlotte Peters had them all. Carol Channing was a good friend. She appeared on the show many times. Look at those eyes. Here she is with Robert Goulet, Danny Thomas, and, of course, the late George Raft.
You are my star. This is Mr. George Raft.
Don't try it.
Phyllis Diller lived at that time in Webster Groves. She appeared many times with Charlotte. As a matter of fact, she hosted the show when Charlotte had surgery. Here's Bob Hope with George Raft on another occasion.
Hi, you won't believe it. We're right in front of the real Alamo, right here in San Antonio, Texas, with the making of Viva Max, one of the funniest pictures you've ever seen, with Mr. Peter Houstonoff. What a joy.
Done.
Honey, inside that door is the Daughters of the Revolution of Texas.
The Daughters of the Republic of Texas.
Of the Republic of Texas. And they won't come out of that door. I understand that the city owns everything up to this building, but inside that building, that belongs...
I think so. I can't remember anymore because, of course, I'm a man of war, and I ignored all that when I took it.
He is the Mexican general who recaptures... He wants to recapture the Alamo.
What do you mean I want? I did it.
Here's Charlotte with Lee Marvin. And everybody knows Buddy Hackett and Polly Bergen. And here she is with Jerry Lewis on the set of a movie that he was producing in England. But Charlotte's love was clowning.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, follow the beat. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, pick up your feet. I am dancing on my tippy toes, powder on my nose, smelling like a rose. Get a load of me, I'm galloping around like a gazelle, making like a swell, showing them what class is. When I take a turn around the hall, won't I have it all at the Royal Ballet? These hard toes will ruin ya. Now I'm a petunia, dainty as a bird upon a herd, a buffalo, dancing on my tippy toes. Where'd everybody go? Oh, there you are. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm at the dance. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Look. Powder on my nose, smelling like a rose, dancing on my tippy toes. Hi, my darling. Welcome.
We just want you to know that the hustler here, that he has gone in for exhibitions and things like that to entertain people and for charitable organizations. Some of them are money things, but that is
That is only like with Ford Motor Company, you know, who gets the tickets, right?
That's right.
That's a sweet man.
That's an
animals.
exhibition where we
That's
charge
right.
a lot of money to play.
That's right.
Now, I'm going to make the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And I really don't know what happened to that 4-ball show.
Don't worry about it.
I never
That's
worried.
the story of my life.
I better look at it one more time.
That's all right. Look. Go on in there, go on in. He made it.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we take you to the Symphony Hall at KTVI with conductor Sebastian Wolfgang as he presents his new catalytic music. Conductor Sebastian Wolfgang.
And I call my first composition Sebastian's Fifth Movement, or Channel 2, We Love You. Hit it, boys. Ladies and gentlemen, for my first composition, I thank you. Dick Balsano thanks you. Ralph Land thanks you. Bobby Caldwell thanks you. Thank you.
This scene is Venice, and when Charlotte traveled, she took a camera and shared the trip with her audience.
I'll never forget going down the canal, and the opera singers were singing, and there was a big moon up in the sky. And I looked at Willie, and he looked at me, and I said, just imagine you and me from the other side of the tracks, and here we are in Venice with a big moon, and opera singers singing to us, and the people opening up their windows and holding their children and saying, look, there goes Americans. And I said to Willie, I said, isn't this the most romantic thing you've ever seen? And he said, I'm just wondering if there's fish in here.
But there was a serious side to Charlotte Peters.
They told him, rum-pa-pum-pum, our newborn king to see, rum-pa-pum-pum, our finest gifts we bring, rum-pa-pum-pum, to lay before the king, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. So to honor him, rum-pa-pum-pum, when we come. I am a poor boy too, rum-pa-pum-pum. I have no gift to bring, rum-pa-pum-pum, that's fit to give our king, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum,
rum-pa-pum-pum. Shall I play for you my rum-pa-pum-pum on my drum? Mary nodded, rum-pa-pum-pum. The ox and lamb kept time, rum-pa-pum-pum. I played my drum for him, rum-pa-pum-pum. I played my best for him, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Then he smiled at me, rum-pa-pum-pum, me and my drum.
My little flat, I'm turning that into
somebody else.
You met Mike Peters a little earlier in the program. Want to introduce you now to Charlotte's daughter, Pat Schwartz. She's married to Herb Schwartz, and together, a little commercial here.
Yeah.
They have the best barbecue restaurant in St. Louis, Charlotte's Rib. In her honor,
that's right.
You've done a great job, kid.
Thank
What was
you.
it like growing up with Charlotte Peters, the persona?
It was very, very exciting because we always had front row seats wherever we went. We had a chance to see Carol Channing, Ethel Merman, Ringling Brothers, Emma Kelly, and of course, someplace along that evening, there would always be emphasis on where we were sitting, who we are, and boy, it kind of made it glamorous for us. But also remember something too, is that Mom would always give us instructions. Now make sure you sit right, don't fidget. For God's sake, make your hair and your makeup look right. You're my daughter, you're my son, you're our grandchildren. Now, present yourself well, and you always felt like, ta-da, cameo.
Yeah.
So, you know, that always, you know, you always have a plus and you always have a minus to go along with
I understand. But along with that, when she lost the Charlotte Peters persona with you on a personal basis, you had a pretty close relationship.
We had a very good one. Like Mom, we used to always say we were friends as well as daughter. And Mom, give you an example. Mom would call me the night before and she'd say, sweetheart, I haven't seen you in a long time. Come on over for a cup of coffee and talk to me. And I'd say, okay. So we'd get the kids off, come on over. Mom would be upstairs in the bathroom getting ready to put her face on. And as she put her face on, I would sit about the second stair to the top. And we'd sit and she'd say, now, as I'm doing this, tell me what's happening with the kids, how's Herb, how's business, how's your life, let's share. And that was prime time.
Yeah.
That was us.
You told me a story some time ago, and I remember it, about being recognized. And of course, she was recognized wherever she went.
Oh, yeah.
But you told me a sweeping the patio episode.
She would, Saturday was her time, no makeup, no wig, just Mrs. William Peters. And she would get out, she'd be sweeping the patio or fixing the flowers. And this one time, this UPS gentleman came with a parcel for Mom. Well, you know, they're very meticulous, and they want to give it to the right person. And Mom was there, but he didn't recognize her. And she gave him the impression that she was the housekeeper. And she said, listen, I'll be glad to take it from Miss Peters. I'm her housekeeper, and giving it to me is like giving it to her. Well, the guy was very reluctant, but he did. 2 days later, the UPS guy, the head, called to verify had Charlotte received that parcel. And Mama said, oh, my God, yes. She said, oh, you know, that woman is such a dear. She said, you know, giving it to her is like giving it to me. She'd get off the phone, and she would laugh, and she'd say, Willie, guess what? They believe me. And, you know, it was super. She loved practical jokes.
Your mom, like all of us, had, I'm sure, her share of disappointments. But one thing that always stood out in my mind was that, at least outwardly, she had a very positive philosophy.
Yeah. When things got kind of rough, Mama would say, sweetheart, life is like a lemon. To survive, you got to take it, you got to squeeze it, sweeten it a little bit, and make lemonade out of it. And, you know, we've lived with that, and when things have gotten bad, we've remembered. It's worked great, so I'm passing it on. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
Won't you come home, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I'm on the holy line. I'll do the cooking, darling. I'll pay the rent. I know that done you wrong. Remember that rainy day that I threw you out with nothing but a fine-tooth comb. I know that I'm to blame. Well, honey, ain't that a doggone shame? Bill Bailey, won't you please come home? Come on, everybody, and sing. Listen to that. That's foot tapping stuff. That's it. Now you're getting in there now. You're coming to the end now. Bring it up. All right, now let it out now. Won't you come on, Bill Bailey? Won't you come home? I'm on the holy line. I'll do
the cooking, darling, I'll pay the rent. I know the dirty roar. Remember that rainy day that I threw you out with nothing but a fine tooth comb.